Hi everyone. Today's topic is short but absolutely critical, the MFA registration policy. Here is a scenario that plays out the countless organizations. Management decide we are enabling MFA for everyone. Security team celebrates. They create conditional access policies requires MFA for all cloud apps. Everything looks good in the policy configuration. Day one goes live. Help desk gets flooded with calls. I cannot sign in. If asking for some authenticator, think I don't have. Users are blocked because they have not registered for MFA yet. This is enrollment gap. You can require MFA, but users cannot complete MFA until they have registered their authentication methods. And if they need to sign in to register, but sign in requires MFA, you see the circular problem. So, what is the MFA registration policy? So, this policy part of Azure Identity Protection solve the enrollment gap. It interprets or no, actually it interrupts the user's next sign in and forces them to register for MFA before they can continue. So from the user's experience is carefully designed. Users sign in with their user ID name and password. Then there is a policy evaluator. Just has this user registered for MFA? If not registered, redirect to MFA registration flow. User sets more information required. User or set that up for additional security verification. User walks through registration, add phone number, install Microsoft Authenticator, verify it works. Then registration complete. User automatically redirect back to their original sign-in. Now they can access resources. This process can take little time, but it's just one-time friction for long-term security. And when you enable this policy, you need to think about timing. If you have a large number of employees and enable it for everyone simultaneously, it might take like a very good amount of time. So there is an option with in Azure that you can do bulk upload to set this up. Now communication technology is only half the battle. You just need to know like information before rollout, like why MFA register is or registration is required, what they will need to set that up, when it will happen, what to do if they have problems, and a screenshot showing what they will see. So it is better to create a document to follow for other users. It's simple because nowadays we are using MFA for different uh, sets of tools or systems. So during registration, users can choose from several authentication methods like mobile app notification, mobile app verification code, phone call, or text message. And most organizations push Microsoft Authenticator as primary with phone call or SMS as backup. And so it is better to educate users about which methods are like most secure. So we'll focus on lab now. In this lab, you will navigate to Azure Identity Protection, configure the MFA registration policy, choose who is applies to, enable the policy, then experience it from a user's perspective, sign in as an unregistered user and go through the registration flow. So let's get to lab now. We are going to implement. Let me bring that lab first so that so in this lab we are going to configure a multi-factor authentication registration policy. Lab scenario is multi-factor authentication provides a means to verify who you are using more than just username and password. It provides a second layer of security to user sign in. So let's start that lab. So there are two sections. First section is set up a MFA registration policy, and second one is, oh no, that's the task. Second task is configure Microsoft Entra identity protection policy for MFA registration. So let's first set up MFA registration policy. For that, we need to go to ID protection, and under ID protection, let's go to the dashboard. When you are in dashboard, you will see that there is an option for under protect section, multi-factor authentication registration policy. Select that one, and under assignment you can see this one is already currently set up for all the users. So you can select individual users, also you can exclude some individual users or groups, that you can do that one. Also after that, if you go down, there is a controls. In the control section for this policy, you said that it is that option is selected, require Microsoft Entra ID multi-factor authentication registration, and this option is disabled. So that means we cannot change this one. So this is the first portion, that to set up MFA registration policy. And second one is coming, like we need to configure now this Microsoft Entra identity protection policy for MFA registration. For that one, what we can do, we can just go to, this is the similar way, just go to that multi-factor authentication registration policy, make sure that policy enforcement is enabled. But right now we are going to assign a particular user, so that when that user will try to log in, it will look for MFA also with this registration policy with identity protection. So let's select the individual users. Let's go with adult. Select that users. So users is included, and all others are there as we set up before. Then select force policy enforcement is enabled. Click on save. So when that is done, we can check from user level that policy has been set up for. So we can go to users. Select adult. And from here, you can see that policy has been set up. So from this under users, you can see all those properties, monitoring, and different information related to this particular user. So let's connect to add a user into incognito window. So when we are in incognito window and try to connect as a added user, we'll see. Let me put password, and here you see that it will prompt for additional security information is required for this user. So here we have to set up set up a second uh, method, if I say, or MFA for this user. So here if you set up that MFA, so successfully set up your security info. And now if I log in again, or log back again, this time uh, Adele user can go through that M365 account. If you see here, so we have completed lab 15 and see you in lab 16.